The Breakfast Show 2020 on KBC English Service.
Good morning to you. My name is Julia Wanjiko. We've got coincidences all around this morning. One of my guests on this part of the conversation is just reading a book about Rita Marley. My Life with Bob Marley. No Woman, No Cry. And she just walked in as we were playing Rita Marley's Harambe. What a coincidence. Now, welcome to the show, Njeri Mwangi and Peter Murimi. I'll tell you why they're here. For over a year, a team of undercover investigators infiltrated a series of child trafficking rings that extend from the slums of Nairobi to one of the country's biggest hospitals. Led by reporter Njeri Mwangi, the BBC Africa Eye investigation uncovered evidence of newborn babies being stolen from their mothers and sold on the streets of Nairobi for as little as 40,000 shillings. Working with a network of informers and whistleblowers, Africa Eye uncovered a trade in human lives that preys on the country's most vulnerable women, leaving unimaginable trauma in its wake. I am glad to say that we are joined by the reporter who put together this amazing piece of investigative journalism, Njeri Mwangi, and Peter Murimi, who is the director of this program, Baby Stealers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
I must say that early in the morning we were looking at the headlines in the newspapers, and this is one of the stories that generated a lot of reaction from the Standard about baby stealers. You know, people saying that this is a country where systems have completely just failed and are robbing women now of their children. We'll talk about that in just a bit, but I need to tell you that in her other life, Njeri has documented is documented in the film Softy. Congratulations on the success of the film, Njeri. It's been very warmly received.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much, Azaya.
Tell us how you set up to investigate this story on the baby stealers.
There's a lot of cries that have been coming to some of the reporters in like Ghetto Radio. And one of the journalists that we were working with that went in as an undercover agent, she was led to feel that there's something that we need to do about this these women who are losing their children. But how bad is this? How real is this? And for you to know that you have to get down there and find out for yourself what that looks like and how that feels. So that's what inspired this investigation, because then you want to go and see and you want to find out what's happening. Where are these women losing their children? Who's taking these children? Where are these children going? Why? What is the police? What are the police doing about it? Where do you report? How can you get back your child once they've been stolen? Where do you look? So that opened up a series of events that led us to trying to see what we can do about this.
An existence of trading babies, but this is the first time that there's actually evidence of the existence of a racket.
Yeah, indeed. But what you see about this particular story is that we actually work with people, because we get undercover agents who go and find that there is a real market, there is trade, it's happening, that there are people stealing children and they are in the hospitals, they are in the streets, and it's not right. And when you see that, then you know that there's something really wrong and something really needs to happen.
Susan Wanjiko, she lost a baby in 2016 to the illegal trade. Listen to this.
During our investigation, we've met countless women like Susan, desperate mothers searching for their missing children.
Nalipokea lini?
2016.
Unajua ni nani alimuiba?
Sijui nani alimchukua.
That's just a part of the baby stealers story. It is a story that is under, the reporters have gone undercover, and they've unearthed evidence of newborn babies being stolen from their mothers and sold on the streets of Nairobi for as little as 40,000 shillings. But Njeri, this was not a newborn, a 3-year-old boy.
Yeah, there are people who are out there, like, I'd call them mad people, man. Because you find a child and you just need a mother looking the other way. And when I say looking the other way, it's that they could be picking something. They could be selling something because they're trying to make a living. And the moment you just look away, then your child is snatched. And they disappear completely. Yeah.
Tell us how it was for you doing this story, because you're a mother as well. Yeah. How was it like talking to Susan and other women that you spoke with? What did that do to you emotionally?
I have 3 children of my own.
Yes.
And I cannot imagine anything in the world happening to them. And I would do anything to protect them. So when a mother who has carried a baby 9 months, then your child is just stolen. And for all the women I spoke with, and they said, I would rather have just held my baby, died, like buried my child, than see this, than think they're somewhere out there not knowing what they're like, what they're going through. And for me, just imagining my own children, thinking about them somewhere out there, wanting to be home, wanting to be with their other siblings, wanting to be with their mom, with their dad, it's very heartbreaking. And then they walk the streets looking all around, hoping that they'll see them. Some, they lost their children 3 years ago. Some lost their children 10 years ago. But they still hope that they'll find them. And then even for them to say that, if I find whoever took my child, I'll just ask them to give me back my child. They're not even asking for much. They just want to be given back their children. And it broke my heart because what can I do? I wish I could just walk out there, go find this child and bring this child back to you. So it broke me to that extent because what can I do? And for me, that having done this story, I hope is one of the things that I can do, if not to bring back the children of the women that I spoke to ensure that no other woman is losing their child, not in this way. Yeah.
Peter, feel free to jump into the conversation. How did you contact them, and were they based in hospitals, or were they people that fixed these deals?
It was very organic in a sense. Like we started, as you say, like Judy, who in Ghetto Radio actually is the one who I could say was one of the people, a catalyst to the investigation to begin. Because we used to talk, and every time like mothers are crying, there's so many mothers are complaining. So when we started looking into the illegal clinics, especially in Kayole, like slowly we met another contact. I'm like, there's this lady Anita in town, and she's snatching babies. And they're like, aha, okay, let's look into her. So we slowly started looking into that. It led to another source who said, aha, and then also this problem is in Mama Lucy. So it was like a chain reaction, but because as an investigation, it's about trust, and also it's about a lot of verification to make sure that the information you're getting is right. So it went really slowly. I could say the whole thing is 1.5 years, but it is just an organic thing, slowly morphed into the product we have today.
Now, the newborn babies are sold from a network of unlicensed clinics in slum areas, snatched from homeless mothers, or like Njeri says, they just need the mother to look away for a moment, even stolen by corrupt medical staff. So it is actually the most powerless and vulnerable mothers who are victims of this network.
Hopefully with this program, like something needs to be done, because the most vulnerable mothers are the ones who are suffering the most. Like you are homeless, you have so many things that you're struggling with to make work. And then on top of that, someone takes your child. Like, that's so painful. And that's something I think, hopefully because of this investigation, like, can be done, because it's so wrong that those mothers have to go through that.
Tell us how the trade occurs exactly. Where do the babies end up? I mean, who are they sold to?
Because of lack of statistics, lack of research, it's hard to know, and it's hard to tell where the children end up. You hear Anita in the film say that when the children are sold, some of them go into being sacrificed. Yeah. So, and you can't even know how many of those go there. Where is it happening? Why do we not know where these children end up? It's because not enough is being done to find out where these children end up. Yeah. Because we know that children, we've seen even here in the country, children from Tanzania, or even people from Tanzania in our streets. We see our own children on the streets. So we can't be sure, because not enough has been done, not enough research has been done. There's no statistics to tell us where these children come from and where they go.
A family wants to follow up after this matter. Maybe their child has disappeared or been stolen. It's a dead end. It's one dead end after another.
At this point, that's what it looks like. So where there's Missing Child Kenya, the founder, they help track babies. But again, like Pete said, these vulnerable mothers don't even have photos of their children. So usually and you've seen a lot lately, that if there's a missing child, whatever age, or a missing person, you'll see a photo and a description of what that child is like. But these people cannot give photos. Yeah, they almost have no proof that this is their child, if they're lucky to have their birth notification. Yeah. So where do these people go? And like Peter said, something needs to happen, because then they need to be accounted for as mothers and as children, that this is the mother of this child, born here, this is how old they are. And there needs to be that photo, so that in the event that this continues in any form, shape or way, that you can still find that this child is this woman's child.
When I asked how the trade occurs, I mean, these babies are sold for as little as 40,000 shillings. Did you find out how these deals are struck?
I think it's cash. It's so easy. Like if you have the money and the baby that you want is available, you would take. Because I remember in the Mary Oma clinic, we were offered countless babies. I'd actually just say there's going to be basically a sequel in 2 weeks' time. There'll be a much longer story of what happens in that clinic. But at the same thing with Anita, it looked like you want a child, and sometimes you can only give a description and you will get the child. So it's, as long as you have the money, like getting a baby is not a problem. And that is what is scary about this situation.
There's no point that you should be told, okay, you now leave as the father or as the mother, whoever you're accompanying. Because you go in there, you had a perfect pregnancy, then suddenly it's a CS, and you don't know how this happened. Then shortly after, things happen so fast, you're asleep, you're told the baby died. There's no other witness. And I'm not saying that people should be allowed all the way into the CS area where the operation is happening. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying let the father stand outside the place. Let them see that child once it's come out. Because once you go in there, there's not two children that are being born in the same space.
Yes.
Right? You come out, you see that baby. You see that baby. And every parent in this universe will tell you the look on your, you know the way your child looks when they are born. You know, and that never leaves you. So if there's no other witness, if the mother is the only one and she was put to sleep when this child was delivered, she will never know. So it is unfair to get women to go in there and deliver on their own. And then even in the panic, sometimes the pain it rips your body apart, right? And so again, if you pass out or if in that pain something happens, you're the only one who's watching. You're still feeling your body. Your body is being broken into these 1 million pieces that as you deliver. And as miraculous as it is, after that pain after that baby is out, that pain just goes. But in all that confusion, then these people take advantage and switch the babies with those who truly lost their babies. Yeah, because they still do happen. They still births and all. And again, I say there needs to be somebody, because then you're not on your own. The other person you're with can be able to watch you and watch the baby that you're having. Yeah.
And one of the stories that we've had, like I said, we've had so many stories, but this is the first time that we are seeing that there's evidence that this is happening, is that a mother will have a stillbirth, and that because maybe she does not even know, she will not ask for the baby, and the hospital will say something like, we will dispose of this baby. And but that baby is preserved to be shown to multiple other couples. You're told that this is your baby, they've died, and that's it. So I'm thinking, how can we watch this? How can people watch Baby Stealers?
It's on the BBC YouTube page, and also it showed on KTN last night, but also if you go to the KTN, it's going to show again a few more times. Even in Swahili it will be shown, so that as many Kenyans as possible can see it. So but just watch it on the BBC YouTube page. It's two things. Even it is becomes so sad that when you giving birth to your child, you have to be paranoid that your child can go missing. Like, or if you're a mother, you're sleeping, you basically, I don't know, you have to tie your child with a rope to your waist if you're homeless. Like, for us to go to that level, basically we should think as a society, like, what is happening here? Like, even just to stoop to that level where people have to be paranoid and not have a proper night's sleep, that's wrong. So I think we need to press a reset button on our values and just go back to humanity. Like, who are we? It's really a big problem.
Jerry, you talked about asking yourself questions like, what do I do? And you're the reporter that put this together, so I watch and I am so enraged. And we know that we as Kenyans, our memory, we will talk about this, we will tweet about this, and then maybe wait for the sequel after it's out. We will just go back to our factory settings. What can I do after I watch?
Empowering other women to, when you're having a baby, don't let anyone, for me, and this is a personal plea, don't let anyone who's going to have a baby go in there alone. There has to be someone with you. Then the other thing is, we must be vigilant. We must be absolutely vigilant. You know someone or you see someone, it's been 9 months and suddenly they have a baby and you never had them talk about adoption. Ever, ever, ever. In fact, if you ever had them talk about it, it was me, I would never. Yeah, but suddenly they have a baby. We're not asking questions. Call the cops on them. I mean, do what you need to do. Say, find a way of exposing these people, because we remain silent. We are complicit in these things that are happening. And like Pete said, we have to press the reset button, because the moral decay is with us. We're part of that decay. And it's not so much the people out there. We have to look within, and we have to do the right thing, be the right people, do the right thing. And if we're all doing the right thing, I said before, I'm a star, you're a star. If we're all shining, we light up this world. But if we put down our lights, then we're allowing so much evil to foster. And we're enabling a society that we keep crying about, and we think someone else should do something about it and take zero responsibility, but we're very quick to question and point fingers. Let's start. When you point someone, 3 fingers are pointing at you.
Yes.
One is pointing at God. God is doing his thing. That one is pointing at you. That one is pointing away.
Yes.
But there are 3 fingers pointing at you. So let's focus on these 3 fingers pointing at ourselves. And like you asked, I really appreciate that you asked, what can I do? Do what you can. Figure out what you can do where you are and do it. Do the best you can. If you're a reporter, do the best you can. If you're a teacher, do the best you can. If you're a lecturer, if you're a doctor, whatever you are, do the best you can where you are and make a difference where you are. And like I said, we are all lights, and we light up this world when we each light our own light the best we can.
A message coming through from one of our health reporters. This is Marie. We're saying, Julia, such cases is what will make women give birth at home, endangering their lives. Sad. But this is what will make a woman just say, I'll just deliver from home without a skilled birth attendant. If this is what they are doing, and we're not saying all of them are doing this, but a good number are doing.
But that's what we were saying, that they would rather hold their dead baby than lose their baby and not know where the baby went.
Yeah.
All the women we spoke to that have lost their babies, they would rather they just bury their children. Why would a mother? What lengths have we put mothers through that they would rather bury their children than think of them out there somewhere? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Njeri and Peter, for coming to the big conversation and talking to us about this gripping film, Baby Stealers. You said we can watch it on the BBC website, YouTube page, and the second part is coming out in 2 weeks.
Yep.
I want to thank you so much for coming to the big conversation this morning. My guests, Njeri Mwangi and Peter Murimi. Njeri Mwangi is the reporter that put together this amazing piece of investigative journalism, and Peter Murimi is the director of this program, Baby Stealers. Keep your comments coming through to us on our Facebook page, KBC English Service, and our Twitter handle at KBC English. The hashtag is Breakfast KBC.
The Breakfast Show 2020 on KBC English Service.